just makes cleanup super fast. I mean, you don't have to wipe anything, you know. And so I just wanted to share kind of my thought process and my tips and tricks that I use to try and create a safe chamber for the work area, how I protect myself, and how I protect the homeowner for the work, whether it's just a cleaning service or a restoration or a conversion installation, things like that. So first thing, obviously, floor protection. Put a drop cloth on the floor so that none of our stuff is in contact with the customer's floor. Our tools should only be on the work area determined by the drop cloth. Next thing, 6 mil vertical plastic containment with zip wall frames or posts. I like to fold the plastic inward inside of the cave like this so that I can tape off the ceiling on the interior. That way I know no dust is going to go convecting outwards like that. And then the same goes for the bottom. I like to fold the tarp inwards and completely tape off the tarp on the ground. So the same thing can't happen. No downward convection of dust escaping the pop-up. Inside, I've masked off the full area around the firebox, and the canvas tarps are kind of overlapping one another like a curtain so that you can peer inside of there, but also quickly shut it if it gets to be too dusty of an environment. I've got my HEPA-Vac here. It's a rigid vacuum, but it has the filter for creosote, the HEPA-Vac filter. It is a green filter, and it's used in conjunction with the bags. If you clean your bag frequently enough, you should never have to replace that filter. If your filter is dirty, it means that you poorly installed the bag inside the vacuum and it didn't seal well, or it was torn or something like that. So the vacuum can spray dust everywhere. That's the most important thing to keep track of, is that your bag is working properly and the HEPA filter is working properly in the bag. So like, it's not perfectly clean, but it's not caked with dust because I clean out my bags pretty frequently. It's time for me to clean out my bags, so I'm gonna pick some up at Home Depot before my appointment. This is all from yesterday. So that's a huge setup. As far as PPE, I like to do double gloves. I like these black gloves to protect my hands from getting really concentrated with creosote, but they're not strong enough. They always tear. So I'll do black gloves first that are plastic, and then I've got these cut resistant gloves. These are my favorite gloves, those Milwaukee HVAC ductwork gloves, using for sheet metal. This setup right here is the best. I used to get cuts in my hands nonstop all the time, and it was like my hands were just constantly nursing some injury. Since I started using this setup, I mean, no issues. Full sleeves, obviously, you want to try and prevent the creosote from coming in contact with your skin. If you got to get up in there and the really nasty, you could tape off your sleeves, or even have like a special hoodie that you use for going inside the smoke chamber. We've already talked about this before, but the minimum respirator for dust containment, N95. If we're going inside the box in a confined space, obviously we're getting the full face or the half face respirator. Eye protection, you don't want creosote in your eyes. And this is the best sweeper I have found on the market. It's the Cable Whip. It just aggressively scrubs the inside areas of the fireplace. It's great for just a chimney cleaning, a 3rd degree creosote chimney cleaning, a prep before a conversion or a reline. It just like reams out that whole run. And after all the dust is out of it and you can look down that thing, and you can really see what kind of condition it's in. So there goes that. And I put that up the chimney, turn my vacuum on. Add the next rod and so forth until I get to the top of the chimney. Break the rods back down. After that step, I'm looking at the accumulation of creosote in the smoke chamber. It's that big shelf behind the back wall of the firebox. And I'm cleaning that area top down. I don't want to do work twice, so I'm cleaning where everything captured top down. Firebox back wall, firebox side walls, the breast, the floor. And when it comes to the vacuum, the way to get the most out of your vacuum bag is to use the vacuum for dust control, not really debris pickup. What I recommend is inside the firebox, using a tote to try and catch everything. If you catch everything, it prevents it from hitting the firebox floor and trying to shoot out. It also helps you clean up quicker. You don't have to spend the time sucking all this stuff up off the firebox floor or the smoke chamber. You can just dump it into this thing, put it in a trash bag. Now your vacuum bag is going to last, I don't know, 5 times longer. It should really just be used for controlling the air inside the firebox. It's the dust that's kind of swirling inside of there. And then maybe finally clean it after all this is broken down. But again, the most important things is the plastic, the tape, the seal around the firebox, overlapping the drape so that you can close it off or open it up, taping this off 100% on the interior of the plastic right here. And then when you're working, close it off. So that the homeowner feels safe, and yeah, it's a level of service that we have to do because of safety, because our service is mainly about safety. So does anybody have any questions about any of that or setup? Any additional tips and tricks that anybody has had good? Yeah, Jake.
On the larger demos, it's best to keep the vacuum outside of the containment area because it doesn't blow them. If you're tearing down brick and stuff or doing PCR and stuff, keep it outside. Giving it adapters for the hoses.
That and it makes it really hot in the tent.
That too.
The motor does heat it up in there.
You'll be in there sweating.
It's not bad during the winter, but
yeah. So that's a really great thing that also makes it more comfortable for anybody in the workspace, but also the homeowner. If you can even set up the vacuum on the outside of the house,
Yeah.
And have a long extension hose running under your zip wall into the firebox, then you don't even have all that room in your way either. And it's not loud, it's like it's doing its thing outside. For the bad ones, yeah, that's definitely the way to go.
Putting that exhaust up the hole.
That's how
I bring extension sticks, and that exhaust is going all the way up to the flue tiles when I'm demoing.
Yeah.
As soon as I can get it up through the
The vacuum exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
and
Just
I
put it
mean,
up the chimney.
I can sit there and just destroy, and the only thing that's coming out of that firebox is maybe a chip that flies. They're all just
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. So this is obviously used anytime we're taking down the back wall of the firebox. Anytime you're doing a conversion, a reline, a restoration, because we're not just doing construction. This isn't easy stuff, right? This is restoration work. it requires a level of detail and craftsmanship that is beyond the average tradesman. You know, because if you screw up and you dust somebody's house, that puts everybody in a real crappy spot. I don't want to get sued. So, is this 100% clear on the exposures of creosote and how we need to protect ourselves and the homeowner? Cool. Any other questions about it?
My question is so you got the exterior tent set up, but the roof is still exposed up there. So I had a case where some fingerprints got on the ceiling that was exposed,
Mm-hmm.
and when you went to wipe it down, it got smeared.
Yeah.
And that was
Wiping is not a good idea with creosote, so you want to try and lift it off of the surface with a vacuum or some type of static.
Tape.
dry rag,
Yes.
microfiber.
Yeah.
Plastic all the way,
Or you could just run another sheet off the mantle all the way up to here.
a couple tacks.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm saying, what
A
the-
couple push
Well, you can
pins
use,
and you're
you
good
can
to
use the
go.
white
In a
plastic
pinch.
for the ceiling.
Oh yeah, 3M.
The real thin
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Cover stuff like mantles.
Yeah, the more prep, it's like there's a very like high value with prep. I am all about prep. Spend extra time on prep. Always.
Saves in the long run.
And that right there is just gonna make customers scream about you guys. You know, they're just gonna be like, oh my god. The prep was incredible, and then they're just leaving you alone. You know, they're gonna go do their thing because they feel safe. Their house has been protected. White vinegar and water if you get it on any type of a carpet, or sometimes I've got it on a piece of furniture on accident. I had a drip of sweat that had some creosote in it. Drip on a nice red little chair, a fabric chair, and it was like this llama chair or something. The fabric was like llama fabric. And I couldn't get that one out. But the white vinegar, but then, you know, if you destroy something, just like, we'll take it to the cleaners for you, you know. And if dust does get out, it's like maids are on call. If that happens, we have to call the maids and give the customer that immediate customer service that they deserve because we made a mistake.